What is up, everyone? Welcome to Mechs on Deck. It's Tuesday. It's August 17th. We're in the dead middle of August.
In the middle. It's weird. Like it was like August 2nd, like 2 days ago.
Feels like it,
Shit.
dude.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
Wait,
I'm good.
didn't I just have one of these like the other day?
That's good. Didn't I just have one of these like the other day? Exactly, man. Time is going by so damn fast. It's about to be September.
It's nuts. Dude, it's gonna, it's 4 months until 2022.
That's crazy.
Isn't that weird to think about?
When does where every day is a closer day to where Mickey Mouse loses his copyright claim?
The copyright, yeah.
Public domain.
But yeah, I'm good. Work's been busy, but good. What about you? How are you doing? How's second week of
second
school?
week? So for those who don't know, I work with children with special needs. Second week is figuring out what their habits are. So a lot of chewing, a lot of eating things they're not supposed to, behaviors that start to shine when they get more comfortable. So we had, those like on the corner of the walls, there'll be those little protective plastic things. They rounded out. So I had a kid just like rip that off the wall today. I was like, it's like, okay. So it's how many one room? We have 9 right now. We're supposed to have 10. But one kid hasn't showed up yet. But yeah, it's a week, right? I always wear my blazers on Tuesdays. I have a theory about Tuesdays with like school children. Tuesday is the worst day of the week, not Monday. Monday, they're rested. They get to see their friends. Unfortunately, some children don't have the best home lives, so school is like their getaway. So Monday, it's like, it's fun, it's cool, great. Tuesday, it's like, shit, I gotta do that again? Like I had all weekend to prepare for one day. Now I only have like a night to prepare for the next day. And I got the rest of the week staring me down. Wednesday is we're in the thick of it. Like, all right, I'm doing this. We're in the week. Thursday, you start getting that restlessness. And then Friday, we usually do things that are fun on Friday. So how old? Elementary. So.
Also, we didn't actually thank Charlie for you for 13 months. Appreciate it, dude.
Yeah.
We talked about his sub message, but didn't thank you. Appreciate it, dude. Yeah. It's well, you're 2 weeks in. Now you're into the thick of it, yes. So to speak.
Yeah,
I guess school to me always never really started, at least as I got older, it never really actually started until after Labor Day.
Yeah, like September is where you're like in the grind. It's going to be that it's usually 3 weeks of school.
Yeah.
Usually by the end of 3 weeks is when you're like in the lessons and it's going. There's that we're in that honeymoon period right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what's on your desk? Did you get
what's on my desk? I got
mail.
some mail. We both got mail.
We got the same mail.
Yeah, we literally got the exact same mail. So what is on my desk? I went with the Crown. With Modern Dolce Light. This is my Crown. It's got 98 gram creams. I absolutely loved it. I switched it off of Bento. I've got a nice slew of artisans. As with Modern Dolce Light, it kind of opens up what artisans you use, and when you have like a harsh color, like botanical is by no means a harsh color, but it doesn't have to match as much. So I like, get to show off the little section. I like how the colors came out. I like how the pink came out more than this. I think this was a little more blue than I had anticipated, but it still looks really, really fucking good. But it has a very my camera shows more blue than green. That's just how for a face cam, like my skin, it's more worried about the beauty of my skin tone. But it is more green in person than it looks on here, and it definitely gives some summer watermelon like smoothie vibes.
Okay.
So I like it. The more I didn't, I wasn't like 100% jazzed on it the second I put it on my board, but I think that's just because I was used to botanical. And then on this, which we'll talk about this in depth, whale. You and I both got this and the octopus polycaps. So we'll talk about this stuff here in a few. And I think that is it for me. I don't remember getting any other. Oh, I got the Wuku stabs.
Oh yeah,
I think I put them in my stab drawer, but I got the Wuku stabs. Cannon Keys sent me some. He sent us some. Oh, here they are. Yep, nice little bag. Haven't tried them out yet. I'm going to be putting this in the. I'm going to be rebuilding my key cult soon, and I'm going to try these out. So.
Hell yeah. Nice. Well, I guess it's my turn. So, mail wise, because Dave already mentioned it.
Spoiled it.
Whale. But not just whale. Polycaps. Octopus. Yeah. I got them both. I just opened them up. Had them for a couple days. Haven't really messed around with them. But yeah, they're really like the boxes.
Yeah, the boxes are lit.
So I think they look good. I'm happy with what the way the keycaps look as far as color wise and everything. I think they did a good job with them. We'll get into compatibility and everything here in a bit. And then as far as what's on my desk, if you were able to come and hang out on Saturday, I built this bad boy, also rocking Modern Dolch. I must say that I really love this board. It's Modern Dolch Light on my Bower with lavenders lubed with Carbon GS2, and man, do they feel and sound great in the palm plate.
That's one of the I don't spoilers. I don't typically watch Eric's build streams. I'll go back and skim through them, but that was one that I was excited to watch. I had that up for about 90% of the stream, so yeah, it was good. I was excited. I was excited for you, of course, because you've been without one of your two favorite boards for a long time, and I was like that combo is going to sound. Like, it's not going to be super loud, but I know in person it's going to sound amazing.
Yeah, it's a little bit. I expected it to be a little bit more aggressive, but it is fairly quiet and a little bit deeper than I had initially expected, which is not a bad thing. I'm starting to prefer a less aggressive sound. I think it's good to have some sort of a balance between different boards and stuff. Some you want to be pounding you in the face with the loudness.
So like Moyu Blacks in a brass plate and a
that's
board
much.
and a loud board.
Much.
This is aggression.
Yeah. And sometimes you just want something that's like
mellow,
just like the pitter patter of raindrops on the roof.
100%. Yeah, that's and I find that like linears in general usually are a little bit less aggressive. They're a little bit less like me typing on a fucking laptop and more like normal human typing. But yeah, I've always enjoyed that's how I found like with the Anubis switches, where it's like it's not this hyper aggressive. Like I'm curious to try Anubis switches in a palm plate.
Ooh, yeah.
Because I've been meaning to get a palm plate of one of my boards cut just to try it. I've messed with Eric's before, but I haven't. We haven't done. You know what we should do soon? We should do a board swap.
Keyboard swap.
I'm
down.
Just do like a month where we just go through each other's boards like every couple days.
I don't want the 150 gram
Oh yeah, that's fine. That can stay there.
You can keep that one.
But no, it's it sounded really really good, and I mean it's a Bauer, right? Like I've explicitly said multiple times, it's one of the best boards I've ever built. So,
Dude, super easy, and it's like one of the things that I mentioned like immediately when you're building it. It's just really nice that all of the fasteners for the entire board are all the exact same size. They're all the same head. You don't have to change out different. Uh, you don't have to change out different bits in your screw driver of choice. You get one, you can build the whole board, and you're good.
yeah,
Which is nice because a lot of boards are. I mean, most use 2, some use 3 to 4. Some have different styles. Some are a mixture of hex and Phillips, which is strange, but it is what it is.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It may be like it is, but it do.
It may. But before we get into tonight's episode, I want to give a quick shout out to our awesome sponsors and partners. We have OmniType, Project Keyboards, Canna Keys, and Kinetic Labs, as well as Zap Cables, Type B, Smith & Rune, and 3D Keys. So we'll hear more from them later. I want to talk about these keycaps because I'm so torn on them. It's so first impressions, let's talk about they're on a board typing. All right. Like feeling this isn't the very first time I've used polycaps, but it's the first time I've actually put it on a Baka. I'm very used to typing on a Baka. Imagine that. They feel good. It reminds me of it's cherry profile PBT. So like if you've ever typed on it before, like it's going to be darker sounding. It's going to have I can't wait to watch that later. But it's going to feel textured. So that might be a little different. It feels like a brand new GMK set, but guess what? That never goes away. And
True.
Sounds good. And then just looking at the looks, it's kind of what we talked about a long time ago with the centered mods. Am I not a fan of them because I'm used to something else? Or do I genuinely not like them? Right? It's that, like, now one, I've never been a big fan of text only mods. I've always been a fan of icon mods or mixed. But some I have to like remind myself, like, do you not like certain mods like the controls and alts because it's different, or is it truly worse? And that's something that I have to like remind myself, hey, if you're wanting to branch out from GMK, if you're wanting something other than GMK, that's just something you have to think about. Is do you not like it because it's different?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think they did a really. I mean, he's got a whale on a board, so I guess I can bust out I'll bust out a tray of octopus, so can show that off a little bit. I mean, they look really good. They did a really good job with the colors. I think the color schemes of the 2 sets look great. This is octopus. You can see nice little pink and purple, light and dark. It's nice. I think it looks good. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things when you go for something like this, when you look at the price point, it's what sacrifices are you willing to make in order to get something at that price point that is readily available. It's not something you're going to have to wait for forever on. It's going to be there in a week or 2 weeks, or I guess they're out of stock right now, but they'll eventually be in. Also, Exosquid, thank you for the tier 2 for 16 months. Appreciate that. You got that. But yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about it multiple times of how we need something other than GMK that is relatively high quality, lesser expensive, and gives you the flexibility of having compatibility. And I think that's kind of where maybe specifically the polycaps differs from some of the other offerings. But I don't know. I like it. I think they look. I
Yeah.
think they look good. I think it's a great offering.
In terms of color, it's fantastic. I like looking at it. I'm like, that's awesome. This is what we need. We need good. It's whale kind of on top of it being just a good blue set. We're seeing a lot more boards come out that are in navy. And I mean, it's going to look good on a whiteboard. And you have octopus, which is going to look good on a lot of different keycap or a lot of different cases. Even with a hint of like maybe on a red board, it would look good, and it kind of to me, like octopus scratches that Bingsu itch a little bit, and whale scratches that modern dolch / Mizu a little bit. If you wanted to get crazy, fucking crazy, you could get like the white polycaps, enter and escape, and you can kind of trick yourself into a little bit of a Mizu fix. But it does, to me, have more of a modern dolch feel to it, which we've talked about. There's, I think we talked a long time ago about what's a set that you think should just constantly be running, and modern dolch is one of those where that's one that could constantly be restocked and people would continue to get them. But I can't, as Eric said, I can't say enough that the colors look fantastic. I don't recall exactly who chose the colors or anything like that, but they look great, and I'm excited to see what comes next from this kind of combo. I don't know if they're planning on releasing like 4 or 5, if they're going with ocean theme. My guess, I'm gonna guess like a green, because there's a lot green. Ocean, you got purple, which is a little bit of a stretch. Green's kind of also in that ocean theme. And they've already got black on white, so it's just a great offering at like $65.
Yeah, and
that's like numpad too.
Yeah, that's 65 for everything, which is a fantastic price point for a fairly high quality set. And like talking about year-long wait times for a GMK set, maybe even something goes into interest check, it's 3 to 6 months before it runs, and then a year and a half or a year plus before it delivers. $65, this is going to hold you over, right? Like this is going to be something that you're going to enjoy. It's going to fit on a board, kind of. Certain ones it may not fit super well, but it does have some strange compatibility, which we can get into here in a second. But it's something that I think can hold people over and be an option for people who don't want to spend GMK money, or maybe are like, I'm tired of waiting. I just want something that's right now.
Yeah, it hits both to me. Like it hits the beginner of like, I want something, I need something, let's do this. And it hits the person that's been in it, like us, where it's like, sometimes you need ones like for people who build on stream. It's great to have just that especially with the numpad, with more and more sets coming without numpads. We've like Eric and I both have had the discussion of like, what sets do we try and like kind of keep off of a board with a numpad just in case, because if we're getting in a board like the balance or the wrecked or something with a numpad, we have to think about like, oh, what set can I display with this board? So that's good to have. And then on top of that, it's like it's a great set to have to just kind of put on something if you're waiting for it. If you get yourself a Bauer 2 and you get yourself GMK 8008, like, well, Bauer 2 is probably going to get here before GMK 8008 round 2.
Well, definitely, because I think Bauer 2s are here.
Like they're physically in there. So like you might need something to tie you over for a while. And that's where that slides in, where it's like, do you want a good looking keycap set that is going to tie you over for a while? And that's great to have.
Yeah.
So Kate, we'll talk about that right now. Eric, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I was about to get into that. First off, Mickey, I feel you on the L in the Key Cult raffle. I took an L as well. But yes, does it have split backspace? So I think this is where we can also bring in something that's going to be available tomorrow over on our wonderful other sponsor, Canon Keys' website. And that's where it differs quite heavily between the two options right now for PBT sets that are going to be available. The compatibility from the polycaps is a bit goofy in certain aspects. We have double alpha tilde, so no mod tilde, and we have no split backspace support, specifically no actual backspace key. You have the everything else that you would need except for the backspace key, the appropriate one.
And I don't think there's a 1U pipe key. So you would just have
that's right. There's not a 1U pipe.
There are other row 1 keys. Like it's cool. You get like the media keys, which I appreciate. I like that there are media keys. You actually get a couple different sets of media keys. But so you do you can physically, I mean, case in point, Sangan layout, like split backspace. All these came from that. So it's not like you don't have it. It's a little goofy right here. We'll just, this is my biggest complaint. I can deal without this on a 60% because artisan, right? Throw an artisan on there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a special use case on that situation. I can find something for where the pipe key would go. Maybe put tilde there, the alpha colored tilde.
You use like delete.
Yeah, and you can use delete. There's a lot of options that you can put there at the 60% range. But I feel when I see something like they're giving you short shift, they're giving you the 7U layout, they're giving you,
3B keys.
3B keys, Alice layout support. Let's talk about that. That's a good thing. Alice, we said this 2 years ago. Alice was going to be a mainstay in the hobby. That board, it's only a matter of time before everybody makes an Alice board, and a lot of people have made Alice boards. So I like that covers this. If you want to get something like from SM Keyboards, where you want a stacked acrylic, and then there's some boards coming. Isn't the Maha running again soon? I think.
There's that. There's the one they say is on 100% layout, but it's not really. It's like almost an Austin, but not.
Yeah. So there are a lot of boards that are going to be able to get covered with the Alice support. I think it's fantastic that it has it. It's just a weird. It's weird that split backspace was left out.
Yeah. I think that's weird. The other piece that's weird is I don't think it has, it doesn't have support for ISO either, which kind of pigeonholes it to a certain market.
Yeah.
Which that may be specifically because Kinetic Labs has no plans to release this through other partners and expand throughout the rest of the world, which I think is interesting. I think when you're looking at this, there is some room. I think even if this key set needed to be $74.99 to add 5 keys to expand compatibility significantly, and actually like truly cover all these different options, because you don't even have mod pipe key in the set in general, which is obviously something that's of hot topics currently.
It's literally the mold is there.
Yeah,
for the ISO.
That's the other piece. The mold for the ISO is there.
That's funny.
But I think I don't think we need to be making sacrifices on compatibility of like single keycaps when we're at this price point where we have the ability to kind of move up just a little bit. Obviously I don't know fully like who's manufacturing this. Maybe they don't have the molds. I would assume that based on the trays, they have the molds for things like ISO. Obviously running, it is it's a double shot set. So they do have to have a mold for the smaller backspace, which I think you could definitely do. So that's just some things that I'd like to see. Smaller backspace, the split backspace support, um, the actual maybe get into ISO, bring it in, bring some support to the rest of the world. It just seems weird to do a fairly niche board like the Alice, with the additional space bars and everything, and not what is one of the most used boards layout in the community and literally the very first picture when you look at Polycap's Whales, it's literally on an HHKB board, not an actual HHKB, but an HHKB layout, and it has a delete where the tilde is in the wrong spot. It has a delete, and then we have pipe key where backspace is. So it just looks a little awkward. Yeah, the set looks great.
But again, the set looks great, but yeah, I mean, just you said it. I mean, it's first and foremost, I dropped my tray and dumped all my caps all over the ground. So we're putting this in a bag. But it, you know, I think with just a couple tweaks, because I talked to Kinetic Labs about Key Bonbon. I said, hey man, there's 2 mod tilde keys in here, and you know, I am by no means a keyboard expert, but I've been in the hobby a while, and I can't think of any layouts that have 2 mod, alpha, but that have 2 tildes on the keyboard. And I don't know why you would need 2 of them. Is this a mistake? And he said, yeah, and he's looking into it. So just a heads up, like, I think we're going to see a little bit of tweaking. I definitely, you know, from the rooftops and telling him, like, please just add, like, we were talking about this before. Personally, Eric and I, like we were saying, like, we don't need mod tilde as much as we would want split backspace, like the actual 1.75 backspace key. That would solve everything. So, you know, that would, or at least that would, you know, hold me over until another thing.
It unlocks a large amount of support, I think. Yeah. When you don't have it, it doesn't, it becomes less valuable for what we were talking about getting something that is of good quality, looks good, feels good, sounds good, for not a ton of money in the meantime while you're waiting for maybe a 2.5 year long group buy, right? Because the thing is people are moving through boards so fast before they're even getting their keycap sets. People maybe they buy a board, they're using this, and then it needs to go on a different board, and now it looks funky because it doesn't have the right support. So I think that's an easy fix, I think, without understanding the entire logistics of it. But
yeah, absolutely. So all in all, do I think it's a good buy? Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're a 2U backspace user and you don't really care about the color of your modifier keys, go get it. Like if you're if you're someone who is using like a TKL, like if you go get, you know, a Canon Keys TKL, where it's just like a standard layout, a lot of people still get the drop boards. You know, it's I'm curious, does it have compatibility for the Glorious? I would assume so.
Yeah, because the Glorious doesn't have split backspace. The GMMK Pro you're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I think yeah, I mean, it's got the short shift. It's got the arrows. You might get a little goofiness with the column on the right. But I mean, again, you know, that's a keyboard absolutely geared towards you know, people who are wanting to maybe try getting into a higher end keyboard compared to, you know, like a Red Dragon on Amazon. So, or just another, you know, just wanting to dabble in the hobby, it's a great option. And then these caps can fill that, and that just adds more customizability. So I honestly, I think it's a solid purchase. There are certain things that Like, would I personally purchase this? Yes, but I wouldn't get multiple. I would get one.
I think the better buy is what's being released tomorrow on canonkeys.com.
Nice PBT.
The multiple sets, obviously this is without knowing. I don't know the pricing of nice PBT, black on white, the Edelberry, or Winter Tundra that are all being released tomorrow.
So let's see. We got it right here. Nice PBT black on white, $60. Accent kit is $12. This is from this Discord. Winter Tundra, $70. Elderberry, $75.
Okay. So I would get that instead. I mean, so the thing is the nice PBT sets, I don't think Tundra does, but the Tundra does as well. Nice PBT sets all still support the same layouts that we were talking about with the Kinetic Labs polycaps. Nice PBT has a lot of options. Black on white, much more flexible, as well as you have multiple colors of accent kits that you can purchase. You've got a blue, a pink, a lavender, a mint, and a peach, which is all really nice. You have actual, like, true 100% split backspace supports. All the EU people have ISO, UK ISO. I believe, yeah, I think UK, I don't remember exactly what has changed. I think UK ISO is supported.
You can at least put the ISO enter there. I don't see. Oh yeah, you do. It's right there. Row 1 on the bottom. That the 1.25 shift.
Yeah. Okay. So you have
you've got
all the
so you
support.
have full ISO support.
You have 2, at least in the kit renders or not kit renders, but the kit pictures. You still maintain your 2 Bs. You don't have 3. You got 2, and you have 2 ISOs. Full out support, full split backspace support. You have mod and alpha pipe, mod and alpha tilde. You have way more options. I think that the nice PBT, as someone who I have Sugar Plum and I do really like it, which is the first nice PBT set. I think it was good. I think it was maybe a little bit more than what people wanted to spend at the time. They've brought the price down a little bit, and they have a lot of more flexibility. I think if you're someone who's willing to spend a little bit, getting the black on white and a couple accents kits is going to really give you a lot of flexibility in the future, and you have a lot more support from the base kit. Like, you're getting a lot more usage out of that money you're spending now, to be able to have that fit perfectly on a board, years down the line.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think the one thing we don't know, and this is kind of the variable right now in this question of which one, is how available are these keycaps going to be? Did they buy enough? Are they going to sell out immediately? Are you going to be able to get your stuff? I hope so. I think Upas is trying. I really think he's going to try and have enough to where at least if you're there, like, for the first couple minutes, like, if you're like, okay, I'm hitting refresh, you'll get it.
I think,
hopefully if it's like a 10-minute, but then how fast are they going to be able to re-up these sets?
That's the important thing. I like, it's going to sell out immediately first time. That's just like the nature of the hobby. Because when you order something and when you get it, the hobby's just like, hey, I'm going to grow 2 times. And I think if what's important is how quickly does it become, like you said, an in-stock item, right?
Yeah.
Is it another 3 months before we see it back in stock, or is it, a month or a couple weeks? Because I think that'd be good. It'd be nice to be at that point.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd say if I'm given the option between these two, I'm going for nice PBT. I'm okay spending $10 extra. They're both good. They're both good keycap sets. This one has more. Nice PBT does have the extra. You're spending a little bit more, but they're both reliable keycap. They're both reliable vendors too. So it's not like, we're fucking sponsored by both of them. I do have to make the joke that the picture with the peach accent colorway just reminds me of like, can I have peaches and cream? Like, no, we have peaches and cream at home. Peaches and cream at home. I like what I really really like about the accent kit is the F row. I love when you throw in the F row keys. That just kind of, to me, I mean, it rounds out the whole set. So excited to see these, and with, I mean, I've messed around with the sugar plum. They're excellent caps, and those price points are really good.
It is also worth noting that with the polycaps, they are double shot legends. With the nice PBT, they are Dysa. But to me, I don't like. It's half a dozen and another. Like it's not that big of a deal. If I'm looking for a lesser expensive, I feel like that's a willing trade off for myself. By being able to have more compatibility. I think I'd rather have the compatibility and being able to fit on all of my boards. Also, hi Stray Chroma, how you doing? I'd rather have it fit on all my boards than the legends not fade away. Maybe I've had dice up sets that, and I haven't had them fade necessarily.
Like, I mean, but at the end of the day, both great. But we'll see. You know, that's the big question. The big question mark is how fast are these going to come back? If Canon Keys can get these once a month, wait to get them. They're going to be great. They're going to be reviewed by every living human. We're not getting them because we already have the sugar plum. So we have them. We just don't have this exact colorway. What I also like is, you know, they're showing pictures of, now both stores are showing actual pictures. I like that we're moving towards hey, here's like an actual picture of this. And it's not like, you know, it's kind of normal light. Like it looks like he just took a picture of this on his desk, and that's what I want to see. I want to see kind of that standard look to it. And it's got, you know, to me it scratches that itch of it's kind of like, if I see this in store and I see GMK minimal for $80 more, I'm like, no, that's stupid. I'm going to get this 10 times. 10 times, 9 times, 10 times out of 10. Like, I'm like, GMK is great, but black on white, you know, I'm not at this point with a black on white set. I'm not like waiting 2 years for a black on white set. There are things that are just as good. You might get GMK because you want some really good custom color. But if you're just looking for something plain and simple like this, no, what's the point in not doing that? So,
yeah. And I like, as we've seen from other manufacturers, other vendors, a keycap disclaimer as to what possible issues there could be and what you can expect. Things like small alignment changes, sprue marks, which it's the little dots that are like on the edges of caps or on the back, like on GMK caps, especially on like longer keys, you get the little dot where you can see where it was like, I don't know if that's where it was injected, but basically you see those sprue marks. But yeah, there's a couple other things, light color fading, stuff that I don't think, as long as it's not egregious, are things that are like completely fine and expected.
Yeah, I mean, they come with GMK. They come with SA.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's a way to make them without. Like, I'll never forget watching Odos. He was doing like a photo editing stream. This is a long time ago, and he's like going through and editing out those little dots. It's like, that's good. That's funny. Like we're fully admitting to the fact that GMK is not perfect. You know, it's like Instagram versus reality.
yeah.
Like it really is. Yeah, I'm not ashamed to say that most pictures you see on our Instagram, at least if they're taken by me, hairs are edited out sometimes.
Dude, sometimes I zoom in, I'm like, can I even see that when I take it out? Nope, I can't. All right. I'll be all right.
On a blackboard, though, man, it's like one speck. And then what's worse is when you edit out some, then the ones that are remaining look even worse because now there's only a few. So, but yeah, it again, we're like, I feel like with these sets, if Cannon Keys is releasing these over and over, like I honestly feel like we're entering into like a maybe like a silver age of keyboards. Like we're not quite golden, but like we're just entering into a new idea of like, hey, you can go to a lot of different. You can go to Novel Keys, get caps on a board. You can go and switches. You can go to Cannon Keys, get caps, board, and switches. You know, and again, we talked a while back. Omnitype fits more of the boutique. Like they're more of the like we have super high end boards and we sell the highest end quality keycaps. But with Cannon Keys, Novel Keys, if Kinetic Labs decides to dip their toes into selling keyboards, this kind of one-stop shop. We've been talking about one-stop shop for years. Since the start of Mechs on Deck, we've wanted someone other than KBD fans to be that. We're getting dangerously close to having like, Cannon Keys is the good thing is Cannon Keys is selling out, right? like that's a good thing. That means Cannon Keys is doing the right thing. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, we have big news from you, Mr. Chewart Little.
I was busy yesterday.
What you released something fairly significant yesterday. What did you post on the socials?
On the old Geek Hacks. Well, I am taking the Baka 70 to group buy. I don't have it here. It's with Didi. I'm missing it a lot. I told him, I was like, you get 1 week. Nasty Naders, hello. I was like, you get 1 week because I need you to like use it for a week of this. I need someone who's not me who can type on that layout. And we'll get into that layout soon. To give like the full write up. The first thing I met, and if DD, I don't think he's in chat. First thing I messaged him, tell me what's wrong with the board. I'm like, I need to know. This is a prototype, the board, but it came out really, really good. So yeah, the Baka 70, it's on the old Geek Hacks right now. I posted it up on Reddit as well. If you have seen it, it's in our Discord. You can go to Baka 70. If there's a channel there, you can type !Baka 70 in any of our channels, and it will pop up saying like you'll get notified whenever I start making more. But yeah, it's kind of weird because this is a board I've been wanting to design and make for a very long time, but the funds, I try not to spend, first and foremost, disclosure, I've made money off of selling keyboards. People can do that. It's okay. It's not something I wanted. I had to heavily invest in this project, like way more than I have with the other projects. I had to make money off of those projects to be able to fund everything for this board, a prototype, the design, all the, the plate, the fucking PCBs. Like I'm the first person to say I fucking hate proprietary PCBs. I fucking hate that I have to use a proprietary PCB for this. I'm probably going to order like 6 just for myself because holy shit, I don't want to have a PCB just die. But it was an expensive journey. But group buys, I've done 2 so far, and it's kind of led into this awesome project. So in short, the Baka 70, I've talked about it before. It's a 60%. It's this with a 5 head. It's this with a 4 head. It's a F13. Like I said, DD has it, and my plate for it is in the closet buried. But the whole point of it was I wanted a keyboard that was the functionality of a 60%, but showed off the F-row keycaps. I love the way the mod colored F5 through F8 always rounded out a keycap set to me. And then I was like, okay, well, what do I like about keyboards and what do I not like? I don't care for arrow keys. Not a huge fan of them. Mainly, that's just me. That's my opinion. I mean, I say that as literally in front of me a keyboard with arrow keys sits. But I was like, I don't really like arrow keys. And I want an F-row, but this doesn't take any horizontal space on my desk. It doesn't add any horizontal space. I still have room for my mouse. It only takes vertical, which I don't really care about the vertical space. And I'm like, well, it's about the size of a fucking JO2. JO2's got the biggest goddamn 5-head that I've seen. So I'm like, all right, well, let's just throw an F-row on there. And make it look cool, and it's loud, it's heavy. Eric typed on it a little bit. Davis, I gave the proto to Davis when I built it, and she used it all day when I went and helped her out at the warehouse. And it's $550.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. I don't like that. Like, we'll talk about price. It's $550. It's a very expensive keyboard. I'm very well aware. I knew going in yesterday. I was nervous all day because I was like, the first thing I put it right at the top and I bolded it, all caps. This board is $550. I wanted people to not get too excited because I knew that that's an expensive board. Prices are ridiculous. I want to get this board out. I'm only running 40. I can't run too many more because I don't think I'd sell that many more. It's a new layout. It's a new board. It's prototyped. It's proven to work. But end of the day, looking at my numbers from the last two group buys, I was like, I think I can hit 40. I hope I can hit 40 people. But it's an expensive board, and it's expensive because it's fucking 7 pounds of metal. Like, let that sink in. That board, if you cut this off from the board, that's how big the board is, and it weighs a little bit less than this. And this is a fucking heavy ass board. It's over 7 pounds. It's a lot of metal, but I stuck to the design language. This is a board that I built for me. And the best advice I ever got was build a board for you. So it's expensive because I also have to make enough money on top of the group buy to be able to buy extras, meaning that's just dead weight boards. Like you have to buy like extra boards. So, because of how expensive this board is, because I have to buy so many extra PCBs and all of that, I had to raise the price well beyond what I initially intended the board to be. And, it is what it is. I understand if you're excited for it, but can't afford it. I'm really, really sorry. Like it's not something that I tell you with confidence that I'm happy about. I promise I've shared all the information with Eric. Like I'm not going to be making like almost anything off of this. Like,
yeah, it's like more, it's more of like
this
a
is for
passion
me
project.
this is more for me to get this cool layout that really doesn't exist much else outside of this board. There's a few. I'm not the original designer of this layout because nothing is ever original, but I want this layout to be more of a thing. And I said that in a Reddit post where I was like, I want, if someone can make this layout and make it 10 times cheaper and make it with a lot less stuff, that's great. That's fine. I'm releasing a Baka. When a Baka comes out, it's going to have a fat ass weight, or at least that's going to be there. The polycarb edition obviously is a stray, but for a true like Baka board, it's going to be all aluminum. It's going to have a fat ass weight. It's going to have a stiff as fuck plate, and it's going to be loud because those are the things that I want out of a board. So.
Yeah. And I think that's
I'm like getting anxiety from talking about the fucking price.
Well, but the thing about the price is that the support and the success of this run, much like the original Baka, the original 20, right? It's the same situation. The success of this can lead to additional runs that will lower price. Like if you can realistically sell more, you can lower price because you can expect to order a certain amount, right?
Yeah.
The more news for everyone, the more keyboards that are made, the lower the price is.
Yeah.
Because that's just how things are. The more material you buy, the better price you get. And I think, yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for it. Uh, I I think 40 is a very small amount, but I think that that's like a really smart number to do, because I think, you know, it is new. It is in a weird time and it's expensive, right?
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it. I think it's going to do really well. I wouldn't be surprised if it sells out in the first day.
Yeah, this is one that's going to be up for at least a week. So, or
Yeah.
until it sells out.
The thing that I'm interested in is how many people are going to buy the Dabaka bean.
The Baka bean. All right. The Baka bean. I wish Dee was here for this. So first and foremost, answer the question. What the fuck does that mean? Well, Baka, you can probably guess. And by the way, if it wasn't clear, my nickname is Chewy, Chewbacca, Baka. Even Blind Assassin didn't get that until into this discussion of us building this board. So yeah, that's why. So D-E, Dabaka, DD Decline. DD Decline and Genly Bean. So Baka Bean. So those two have been hounding me about making an ortho layout for this board. I've shown a lot. There's a lot of people that have seen the Baka 70, the renders, the ideas. And you know, a lot of people are excited. Oh, it's got the artisan row and all that. Like, you know, I'm very excited about this. But Didi goes, but like, listen, hear me out. And he sends me a KLE, and I was like, what the fuck did you do to my boy? What did you do? And Genly Bean, she's sitting here like, listen, I love ortho. And she's, I mean, a great friend, an awesome friend of the channel that does most of the art for our channel. And she was sending me, hounding me. She's like, wouldn't it be cool if you did this? I'm like, yeah, but you gotta have to design a PCB. So finally, I look at Didi, or I'm talking to Didi. I was like, listen, I'll cover the plate. If you buy the PCBs for this, I'll do it. And he's like, done. I was like, fuck.
You're just like low key hoping it doesn't happen. He's just like, nope, this is happening.
He's like, nope, we're doing this. So, you know, again, it was important to me that I prototype this board. I mean, you'd have to. It would be a very hard sell to get people to spend this much money on this board without a prototype. Got the prototype built back in June. The other day, DD Decline. Actually, I'm pretty sure you can just. Does that work? Boom. Check out his Twitch. The VOD should still be up of the Dabaka Bean layout. It's just it's the ortho linear layout, but we nicknamed the PCB the Dabaka Bean. So to address confusion, you can buy one or the other. The other is going to be $10 more. Ooh. I had spicy chili. I'm sorry. The ortho linear layout is $10 more because it's just more grooves in the plate. The plate's just more expensive. And if you can also buy like a standard, and then you can buy a plate PCB on the side. So if you want both, if you're interested in trying, you know, the ortho linear layout, and you want both, it would be $100, $50 for the plate, $50 for the PCB, $100 extra on the side, which would total $650, and that would give you a board. That would give you two builds with one board. So yeah, he chose a great keycap set. He took some great pictures. It's a cool layout. I had no intention of ever fucking buying it until he built it, and I was like, okay, okay, let's do it. I'm not buying I'm buying like plate PCB. I'm not dedicating a fucking board to ortho layout, but I think that with that, you know, we stuck true. I told him it was, you know, we were talking about the design. It was very important to me that I was like, the plate has to be stiff. It has to stick true to what I want the board to be. The PCB does offer 2U backspace for those interested. It does offer 2U backspace. I tried to put the layout in the Geek Hack link. I think it worked. So it's not forced. It's not forced backspace like the OG Baka run or anything like that. But again, it's caps lock, 2U backspace. And in the bottom row for the ortho layout, you can do we can do a 3. It would be 1.5. 1.5, 3U1, 3U1, or 1.5, 1.5. Or you can do the Sangan bottom row. So have a normal bottom row with the ortholinear layout. So it's a lot of time went into figuring out. I knew exactly what the standard Baka 70 was going to be forever ago. The ortholinear took a lot of nights of discussing, and big shout to Static Age as well. He put in a lot of input on this. So excited to get this board off the run. It's going to be on 3D Keybs. The other thing is I'm going to be personally QCing these. Like I will be personally putting my hands on them. I tried to be clear about what my QC is and what I consider A stock and B stock on there. That was something that was missing from my last posts. I've been trying to learn as I go. I like to ask Eric. Eric's not afraid to be like, this is shit. Like, that's why Eric's not afraid to be like, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to hear right now, whether or not you like it. And Aussie Obsession, thank you for the raid.
Aussie, thank you. Appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Welcome. We are talking about the Baka 70. Eric's going to tell me like, hey, you should do this. You should do this. And I listen. And so I made sure to put in there, hey, this is what I see as an A stock versus a B stock. And this is what you can expect from this. But I will be personally putting my hands on these. 3D Keybs is not far away from where I am. And the polycarbonate Bakas are still going. Like it's still, I know they're done machining, but those should be wrapped up. I'm hoping to get those out in the next few months. But that's not going to slow down. I mean, once we're in group buy for Baka 70, I was like, I can't do anything for that for a while. It's like, so like that, trust me when I say it is not taking any distractions from the Baka 60 polycarb. I can't work on the Baka 60 polycarb right now.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. For everyone who was here before Aussie rated, if you want to like learn a metric fuckload about how to take pictures of keyboards like really well, or just see someone who's like really good at it and just try to sneak some of their tips and tricks, follow Aussie. Also, he builds keyboards, talks about it. He's a fantastic guy. He's fun to watch. I've been watching him fairly regularly over the last couple of weeks since he started streaming. But yeah, I'm really excited for the Baka 70. I think it's going to be a fun board. I know you've spent a lot of time on it, and you've had many nights of thinking about it prior to even working on it. Maybe soon enough we'll finally get the Cooler Master Pro M layout.
One day. That'll maybe 2023 will be a big year.
Maybe 2023.
Who knows? Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's just going to be like the Baka 70 plus 20, but not the Baka 90.
Yeah,
Baka
right.
70 plus 20.
Dude, Baka full size. Could you imagine the weight?
Shipping alone on that would be massive. I mean, that's what TX keyboards did. I don't know if you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
They did the TX 108 SE, and it was $100 to ship.
Dude, can we do? I want one. Can we just get ones for us?
Well, I mean, so for those who don't know, we'll talk in short. Baka 40, it's going to happen. I'm waiting on the Smolka to run. I'm not going to compete. Blind's not going to compete with himself. And people who are going for the Smolka are probably not going for the Baka 70. Baka 40, it's still going to happen. It's going to be a very small run. It's less than 20, more than 15, probably just going to be 20. Baka 40, it's going to happen. This Baka 70 has been way more on my mind. Rather than the Baka 40. I know I'm doing a TKL, but I'm doing like 10. And 2 of them are already claimed, number 1 and number 9.
Oh, really? Dude, I see things you learn on stream. I didn't even know about this. We might have talked about this and I totally forgot.
That was honestly, that's something I don't really, to me, there's so many good TKLs, but I'm like, it'd be cool to have like a bot, call it Baka 80. But we're having to deal with fucking PCB things with that. Baka-less, that would be cool. I don't know how you would, the design language.
The design aesthetic would not fit.
It would be very goofy, like to go. It would have to be a box.
Yeah, it would look like the original. What was the one? The one that used the Wonderland PCB.
Oh man, what was that called? Yeah, I can't think of that.
Someone in chat will know.
It turned into the wild card.
No, the one that was home.
Well, but it was before that. Yeah, well, wild card was home row.
That's right. Right.
Fuck,
can't remember what it's called. But it was a square. It was a square, Alice.
It was a perfect square.
Well, not square. It was a rectangle, but
yeah,
it was still. It had the full corners.
Yeah. The TKL. I mean, that's something you'll see.
Lubricante.
You'll eventually see me. Lubricante. There it is. Thank you, Kennick. You'll see one of us or both of us build them. That's a pet project. I might like like pay for, but I might like, you'll have to pay for the board, but I might like raffle off a couple spots just to fill them. That's going to be an expensive board, but I won't have to pay that much for the PCBs because I'm doing everything I can to make it with the Heine Bush PCB. It was honestly a big part of the reason I'm doing this because of Hellbent. So shout out to Hellbent. So
shout out to Hellbent.
Yeah, Baka 70 guys. If you're interested, please go fill out the interest check form. It's weird calling it interest check because it's gonna happen. Please, if you're interested in buying it, please fill it out. Let me know any comments on it. No, there will not be hot swap. Sorry. I've gotten that a lot. Sorry. At this time, I have zero plans to make a hot swap PCB for this board. So Alps, I think there's I don't remember. I'd have to look at the PCB. I don't remember if I did Alps PC. I think I did Alps PCB, but not plate. But we are again releasing the plate files after the group buy.
Yeah. I don't remember.
So
I'd have to go back and look at the build VOD to see if there is.
I don't know. I may have just said no to it. But I know the plate does not. You would have the plate is.
You'd have to get another
into the short shift. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, go check it out. September 17th at noon. That's a Friday. So 1 month. 1 month from now. I wanted to get. It's important to me also that I wanted to get the IC out at least 1 month before. So especially with this kind of price, if you need. Maybe you want to, if I would be honored if you sold something, but please, if you're like, I need to sell something for this, like, don't like frivolously sell
Don't
stuff.
skip rent to buy the Baka 70. Rent,
the Baka 70. I plan on running this again. Yeah. This is not in my order of operations. I've got this. And once I get this, that'll probably lead me into the Baka 60 polycarb. When I wrap that up, all my time and energy will go into the Baka 40. And then after that, next year I do plan on doing basically the final run for the Baka 60 in aluminum. So, so a rerun and probably the final run of, well, this doesn't have a weight in it, but this board or this board. It will not be called the Squid. It will be called the Baka 60, as this was a special thing. But last, maybe I'll just call it the Baka 60 last call.
the Baka, the final Baka.
Time to show some ankle on the corner again, boys. Oh, well worth it for this board. There you go.
My God, Dibble Day. It took me a second to realize what he meant by
showing
that.
Some ankle. Scandalous.
Dude, you know one thing we were talking about before stream about the keycaps, the PBT caps that we that I didn't talk about is the new GMK trays, right? They suck. They're awful. They make you just want to throw it away. But it's almost like they designed it like that because they made it recyclable and they made it biodegradable. with the polycaps, I feel like I need to use the trays because they fit so perfectly and everything goes back into that little box. And I because now I have the I don't feel bad about throwing this away option with the GMK, I'm conflicted as to what I like more.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I kind of like the fact of
it's
not having to feel like I need to use it and I can just throw it in a bag, throw it in a box, and I can be a little bit more organized and smaller form factor with my keycaps.
yeah, I like it. I like the box art. I like that it's like a complete package. Like you can kind of put it up with GMK trays. Even if you do kind of put it back together, it's loose. Those lips catch on things, and it just doesn't look as neat. And I mean, even the old GMK trays didn't. I like that you can literally like seal these back up. So, major props, major props. So, keyboard of the week. Keyboard of the week. We don't have any new submissions.
I was
So
gonna say we don't have any submissions, so
we'll probably we'll
just
do this
two
next week. So do a lot. We'll do 2 next week, and then the final next week's also the final week of it. So post on keyboard of the week, and we'll talk about one more thing. No, you're fine. I mean,
Yeah,
listen,
dude, no, fuck you, chat. Post pictures of your board. All right.
I love it. Are we getting Dark Eric now? Like Dark Chewie's dead. Long live Dark Eric.
Dude.
That was good. No, just go keep it of the week. Post your artisan pictures, and you'll have a chance to be at the end. Let's talk about September.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about September. So here at Mechs on Deck, we are taking a short. The stream is by no means shutting down.
We're breaking up.
We're breaking up. No.
It's not you. It's me.
It's not you. It's me. No. So Wednesday streams, we're pumping the brakes. We're putting that stream right through the windshield, pumping the brakes on that. So why? Well, first and foremost, Eric and I we have been kind of like it's like dog days of summer hitting in August and September. We love the artisan April months. We did Keycap Designer Month. We enjoy the people, but we've been wanting to tweak the interviews a little bit. We've been wanting to we haven't really touched them in a very long time. We've talked about, we've adjusted the Tuesday stream. Like when we first changed the channel, the Wednesday stream didn't change at all. And it's still going to be on Wednesdays. The Wednesday stream never changed. We adjusted the other two a lot to make it better, and it was better. Now we're like, maybe we go take a look at Wednesday streams, at the interview streams, and why don't we adjust and tweak? And we just need some time to think about that. Eric's going to be traveling a good bit in September too. So basically, in the month of September, we will not be streaming on Wednesdays, but we actually do have one interview on a Saturday in September. It will not be as much keyboard related as it will be that poster. So we will have Crash Draws. That's his name, right? I got that right. Crash Draws will be coming on, and we're going. I don't even know if we're gonna. Our faces will be like this big, and we're just going to fucking go through the whole artwork and everything, and just talk. We'll field questions. It's going to be a Saturday stream. It'll basically take place of a build stream, so it'll start at noon. I'll have more information about that. We have a time date. We just need to finalize everything. So if you like that poster, I think he even said he was going to do some giveaways. So maybe you'll get excited about doing maybe a little giveaway poster. But yeah, we just wanted to tweak. And then I think like the last week of September, Eric will be out of town, and I'm just gonna wind up taking a week to recuperate, and then we'll come back strong in October.
Yeah, I think it's more of like it's one of those things where you do the same thing over and over again, and it just kind of gets, not that like we're not moving away from the Wednesday streams in its entirety. It's not gonna be like it's not like we're never going to do interviews again. That's definitely not what we're going to be at. It's just we want to change it up. Like we haven't spent time um, like thinking about how we can maneuver and manipulate that stream to be more enjoyable for the audience as well as us, because it does kind of get old doing the same thing. It begins to feel kind of like a um, not like a chore, but somewhat like a of like it's
It's
fun, but
turned our
it's not as
hobby. It's turned our
rewarding.
hobby into a job, and then we
Well,
want it to go
yeah.
back to being like a fun hobby.
Well, it's one of those things. It's like it is still enjoyable, but it's not as rewarding as it was, and it could be. It's like you when you're doing content, you always want to be innovating. You always want to be changing things a little bit to keep it fresh, keep it moving, keep the people who are enjoying it, give them reasons to continue to enjoy it and reasons to want to come back and watch, and give new people something fresh to to want to look at and want to come and be a part of your content. Um, so yeah, and I think for we are both very adamant about wanting to really enjoy what we do with this, because this is a hobby for us as much as keyboards is. Um, I think at one point in time we were like, maybe let's see if we can make this a a full-time job, and I think we've both shown that we don't really want to do that or want to actually put the work into doing that, because it's a fuckload of work. Like
it's a
props
lot
to
of work, and
everyone who does that, but yeah, you turning into Jay Leno in the Tonight Show.
You know it. Dude. You know it. Now, if we could be anybody, it would be the Pat McAfee show.
Dude, how sick would it be if we had the capital, if we had the investment to fly people in to do like fucking Tonight Show interviews?
It'd be like 4-hour interviews, but
we could get a musical guest every week.
that would be lit. But yeah, it's, and kind of what we talked about a while back too, when we decided to make some changes, was if we don't think we're doing our best, then we don't want to do it. And right now on Wednesdays, we don't think we're doing our best. And I don't want anyone who has been on our show or watching to think that we don't enjoy having people on. It's something that I absolutely love. We get to give a voice to people that, for a lot of people who may or may not have a voice in the hobby, they just make things and it's great and it can put a face to a name, and that's really, really good. But we want to observe it, look at it. Eric and I might, we've talked about, maybe watch a couple, right? Watch ones where they're the good and the not as good, and the ones that we, when we leave a stream going, yeah, that wasn't as good as it could have been. And we are always going, if you're going to subscribe to us, if you're going to sit down and watch us, for an hour and a half, 2 hours on a weeknight, we want to give the best. And right now we don't think we're giving as best as we could. So
yeah, absolutely. It's like, it's not just making it better for us, making it better for the guests that we have on. Like, how are we failing the guests? Are we not incorporating them into the channel in the right way, incorporating questions that are useful to them? And how does it appear for people who are viewing it, right? Is it an enjoyable experience? Does it flow well? Like, do we need structure? Do we need less structure? Do we need, like, it's just all things that we just need to take some time to figure it out and see what we're going to do. And it may lead to some cool hopefully it leads to some cool changes that you all enjoy. And it may even change up, who knows, it may change up the Tuesday stream a little bit as well. I don't know.
We're
open to whatever.
We're just kind of going back to the drawing board. Yeah. Like, and it happens every time this year, Eric and I start thinking, all right, like, it's been, August and September are weird months, because they're at, like, you get that spring and then you're like, yeah, summer, and then you're in the dog days of summer, and then once you hit October, you're like, it's the holidays, like, it's fun. Yeah. So, like, on top of all of that, like, if you look at the time of year alone is going to change the mentality of everything. So it's like, why not? But we want to thank everyone who shows up and watches us all the time. It's still, like, crazy to me that people go, I want to watch them. Because, like, this is something that just stemmed from Eric and I, like, pissing off my wife talking about Magic the Gathering for 3 hours a night. Like, that's kind of what this stemmed from.
Magic.
Yeah, we have a joke where
Funsies.
Yeah. Thoughtseize. And what was the other one? Elvish. What's the
Elvish Mystic?
Elvish Mystic. And Scuttling Doom Engine.
Scuttle
Anyway,
Doom.
Scuttle Doom. And Kiki Jiki Mirror Breaker.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Dude.
All dumb names.
Yeah.
So that, that it stemmed from us just wanting to always talk about something and pick something fun for us to talk about. This is literally, if you've ever hung out with us in person, this is just us, and we just want to do stuff. But we gotta tweak it. We gotta put some secret spices on it. So we'll be doing that again. That's not going to change tomorrow's stream, which tomorrow we're going to be having Dread Keys and 808 Keys on stream. So that'll be a really cool time. They are going to be doing some giveaways. So if you want to win some free artisans on marbles, then come on down tomorrow. We're going to learn about their processes. And this Saturday, so the Wrecked 1800 that is for the winner, it was one of the giveaways for the Mech Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Is on its way. I don't know if it's going to get to me or not, but our moderator is actually coming to visit Dallas.
Heyo.
Oh, so if the board's not here, I'm still going to stream. I don't know what. Something. I'll be on camera.
The camera will be rolling.
The camera will be rolling. I'll be doing something. I don't know what yet. We might even just pop in and say hello and just hang out for a while. Like it's
vibe out.
If the Wrecked is here, I'm going to I will be building the Wrecked. If not, I will be building the Wrecked next week. So that is happening. That's what is happening this week. Why don't you do the sponsorship role? Because I'm I'm still having anxiety from talking about the fucking price tag of the Baka 70.
I totally forgot about sponsors. We didn't do that.
Not yet.
So first and foremost, we've got Omnitype. Go to mechsondeck.omnitype.com. Check out, I think Botanical 2 is already done. I know they left it up. Is it still up? Let me try to see. Oh, it's still up. Get it in, boys. Get it in. It's the 17th and he's still got it going. So you can buy it. So go buy it if you haven't bought it yet. Botanical 2 is still live, even though it said it was supposed to finish 5 days ago. Hey.
I assume they're just waiting for like the next keycap set.
Yeah, probably. And it's one of those things he probably already put the order in and he's just like, whatever. It just means less extras I have to deal with.
Exactly.
Next up, we've got you got Project Keyboard. You can go to mechsondeck.project.link. They are currently running 2 GMK sets. GMK Retro Wave is running throughout the month of August, as well as GMK Slasher just started a few days ago. It started on the 13th, runs through September 13th. So 2 very different sets, dark, violent set in Slasher, and then a very, very bright set in GMK Retrowave, as well as they do have some pre-orders for some of their older sets available. So definitely go check those out. And then canonkeys.com/mechsondeck. As we mentioned earlier, tomorrow morning, you're going to want to be on their website because nice PBT Elderberry, black on white with accent kits, and the Cannon Caps Winter Tundra sets are all going live. They'll be in stock, ready to ship. And if you're okay, if you get those and you don't want to buy those, you want to get some GMK sets. They've got like 4 going right now that you can get. GMK A, that one, Jags, GMK Jags, and GMK Moomin, all running right now. Definitely go check those out, as well as the Equinox XL, the Ion and AIO3 board. So definitely go check that out. And then, of course, the Anubis switches are still up. So if you haven't had a chance to try them out, please consider them. We think they're good. And then Last but not least, on the sponsorship side, we've got kineticlabs.store/mechs on deck. They got tons of stuff over there. Highly recommend the symmetric springs, which are the same as the slow springs I just mentioned from Cannon Keys. But they also have tons of switches over there. Penguins, pandas, the huskies, the salmons. You got a bunch of stuff. Go check it out. If you really need things to help you make a keyboard better, they're going to have it over at Kinetic Labs. I'm a big fan of the Carbon GS2. So they just got that back in stock. So definitely maybe pick that up if you're looking for something maybe a little bit different. What about our partners?
Partners, we got Zap Cables. Zap Cables makes the best cables, and he also provides you with cables that you can make yourself. So go check that out. They've also got awesome desk mats over there, as well as the bumpers coming back, and that's a board I still, to this day, highly recommend. So go check that out. Type Beast, go to typebea.st, sign up for their newsletter. It's like once a month. It's non-invasive emails, and it can be good to just kind of keep up with what's going on in the hobby. Smith & Rune, go to smithrune.com while you're waiting for your Iron 180, Iron 165, and while you're waiting for the Iron 165 polycarbonate edition. You can also just, swag up and swag down with all of their awesome merch over there. And then 3D Keebs, go to 3dkeebs.com, use promo code KeebNoob, and that will get you a little bit of a discount on some switches over there. They've got lots of great switches, stabs, loops, and then, of course, you can't go wrong with a big-ass mouse pad.
Best name in the industry.
Exactly.
Also, Nice PBT tomorrow. First 100 people to use code NICE get 6.9% off.
Nice.
So use that NICE at checkout.
Absolutely. And then also, we forgot, the Wrecked 1800 is back Thursday.
Ooh, we're getting
Thursday,
wrecked.
11 a.m. Eastern.
Do they have an E-White version of the Wrecked?
Not that they do, but not for this run.
Damn.
Do
I
you
just want to call it. No, I just want to call it the E-Wrecked.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Also, what up, Switch Doctor? How you doing?
So yeah, that's all this. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Let me look up who are we gonna raid. Let's see. Let's get some raidy bears up in here. We got Basic, Tiny, Danny Pop. Who else?
We could.
Let's
go ahead. What are you thinking?
Well, I was thinking Basic, but if you want to go somewhere else,
let's see. Yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
Dope.
Trying to
All
see.
right. Well,
yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Let me get that all set up. Again, tomorrow, 808 caps, and why did I just go completely like
Dread Keys?
Like Dread Keys. Dread Keys at 808 Keys will be on tomorrow as we continue Artisan April. If you are still wanting to get in on that keyboard of the month pictures, post your pictures of artisans and boards. I'm probably gonna post one of mine. I'm obviously not gonna fucking enter, but to just kind of get the juices flowing. So post those up, and then again, if you are interested in purchasing or interested in the Baka 70, hit that Geek Hack link, fill out the interest check form, and thank you very much for considering.
Yeah. We're going to be closing up for the night. Go say what up to Miss Basic Builds. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Y'all have a good rest of your night. Bye-bye.